What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys figure unboxing and review video. Today, guys, we are going to be taking a look at Darth Vader himself based on his appearance in Star Wars Return of the Jedi. This is the 40th year anniversary of Return of the Jedi, and Hot Toys has decided to release this new Darth Vader figure for himself that comes with so many accessories and that I cannot wait to unbox himself. Now, this would be my third ever Darth Vader. The other two are from the Return of the Jedi, excuse me, but from Sideshow Collectibles, and then the other one, obviously the one that we just got a couple of months ago from the Kenobi series. Now, the question that I'm hoping to answer is that is this the best Darth Vader figure I have ever seen in 1/6 scale? That is something that we'll figure out a little bit later on in the video, so cannot wait to unbox the figure and see how he looks compared to other Darth Vader figures themselves. I do want to let you guys know that I did purchase this guy off of Sideshow Collectibles. I will include the link to their website as always in case you guys want to join the wait list to purchase him at a later time. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started with the review. Okay, get into the design of the box. So as you guys can see, we get pretty much the same background as we always get for other Star Wars figures, and we don't get a banner like we have usually gotten from previous figures. And I feel like it continues the trend with the 20th year anniversary for Attack of the Clones figures. So we pretty much just get a black background along with an image of Vader himself. We get a Star Wars logo right there in the middle in the same kind of metallic font that we usually get. And then of course we do get the name of the figure at the very bottom as well, along with some logos for Hot Toys and also the 40th year anniversary of Return of the Jedi, along with the Vader mask right there on the bottom left. So not an issue with the box itself. I wish they would have chosen a different pose for Vader in my personal opinion, but well, I guess we can move on. On the right and left side, we can pretty much get the same thing. We just get the black background along with a Star Wars logo and Vader logo, or not, well, the name of the figure at the bottom left. On the back, we just get the name of the figure along with warning and legal information. Not too much going on. As I mentioned before, we don't get any type of banner, so sadly this cover really doesn't excite me too much. The good thing is that I can always depend on Hot Toys for them to include a second cover to the box, which we will see a little bit later on. So I guess we expected this. Not very impressed, but well, this is what we have so far for the main cover of the box. Okay, so now to the actual box design. To me, I've always said if Hot Toys, if it was up to them to make the actual box design, this would be the main cover itself. And to me, it looks absolutely amazing. So we pretty much get the name of the movie right there. We get the name of the figure. We get a stamp right there for the 40th year anniversary. So this one is a silver coloring along with an image of Vader himself. I believe for the Attack of the Clones anniversary, it was, if I'm not mistaken, either bronze or golden. We do get an image of Vader himself and then a logo of the 40th year anniversary of the movie at the top right, and the background of it is all these stars representing the galaxy. We got that same imagery with Attack of the Clones. Now this to me is absolutely amazing. So we get a logo of Star Wars and the 40th year anniversary again right there, but we pretty much just get kind of like the stars moving. So for example, whenever they were in their spaceship and kind of going in the speed of light type of speed, that's the way it looks. So it looks amazing. On the back, we just get the name of the figure, more warning and legal information, and an image of Vader with that new light up effect helmet that he has whenever he's carrying Palpatine, which we will try on a little bit later on, and I cannot wait to see that accessory specifically. And then on the left, we just get an image of Vader, this time without his helmet. We do get kind of this paragraph describing the figure. Feel free to pause the video if you guys want to check it out. And then we get in the background the Death Star itself, pretty much almost built completely. So this second box is absolutely amazing. It has a lot of similarities to the Attack of the Clones ones that we got a couple of months ago with Anakin, Padme, and Mace Windu himself. So this to me makes up for the lack of creativity with that first box. So it looks absolutely amazing. So I believe we're off to a good start. It looks pretty good. I love everything about it. So let's go ahead and get the figure out here so we can see him. Okay, so now we have the figure himself. So as you guys can see, a lot of accessories. This thing is heavy, man. It comes with so many things. Again, just note this is a deluxe version figure, so it's gonna come with a lot of things, and I cannot wait to see each and one of them. So seeing Vader for the first time, looking at him, first impressions, oh yeah, he looks as good as ever. This guy looks amazing, man. I love the helmet and just everything about him. There's no way I can ever dislike a Vader, no matter how he looks. So yeah, we're off to a good start, but obviously we will touch a little bit more in detail later on in the video. We'll definitely talk about the material for the suit. We'll compare the helmets with other Vaders, and again, as I mentioned before, I'll have to see if this is my favorite Vader as of today. For now, we're off to a good start, but again, we'll have to talk about more about the suit, the helmets, and all of the accessories that it comes with. So now that we've gotten the figure unboxed, as I mentioned before, we'll take a look at accessories, we'll do the figure in detail, we'll do some side-by-side comparisons, and of course at the end we'll do poses and final thoughts. Okay guys, we get to the accessories itself. We have a lot to discuss, and for the second consecutive Vader unboxing, we have to do a part 1 and part 2. So we'll start off with the accessories first, and then we'll discuss the display bases, as it does come with 2. So starting off first with Vader's helmets, we have 3 options for him. So we get, first of all, his regular helmet. Now don't get it confused, guys, my lighting is weird, so I promise you guys this is not how it looks in person. We get his regular helmet, which to me it looks great. I really don't have any complaints about it. It's all about preference. What do you guys think it's better? Now for the first time, we get the option of splitting up the helmet, so we can remove the top part and we see all of the mechanical kind of things that come on top of that helmet and where it goes attached. Same thing for the back itself, so it looks great to me. I like the fact that they did this. It gives us options of, you know, for the first time to see certain parts of Vader himself. I wish they would have done at least like a back part of Anakin's head sculpt to see it right here with this helmet, because that would have been even more detailed than ever. But the helmet to me itself looks great. We'll talk about more of it on detail and compared to other Vader helmets once we get to the figure itself. We get also these other 2 pieces. So we get this left helmet itself, which is a first time accessory for Vader. It's pretty much representing that scene whenever he carries Palpatine and throws him off. Obviously Palpatine is trying to electrocute him, so basically we can see his skull, and his helmet just brightens up with all that lighting. So that would be a first time. Again, we'll put it on the figure itself and we'll see how it looks, but I like it so far. And then we also get Anakin's head sculpt, which looks phenomenal, and again, I will talk about it more in detail. It's obviously Anakin himself, and it's from that scene whenever he takes off his helmet to talk to Luke when he's about to pass away. So both look great, as well as the regular helmet. So we have 3 options, which I really love as a collector, so no issues at all. We do also get his cape. So the cape itself came separate from the figure. The cape itself feels very similar to the one that we got for the Kenobi series. So it's kind of has this kind of soft but heavy material or feel to it. I like it. I really don't have any issues with it at all, but we'll see once we put it on the figure. It doesn't have any type of wiring whatsoever, which I'm okay with. Again, Vader is not a character to fly or jump, so he pretty much is standing still most of the time, so I really don't have any issues. I like the fact that it's not too long, so we can work with the cape itself, so I really don't have any issues with it. Again, it looks good. We'll try it on the figure a little bit later on, and we'll see how it looks on him, but I would say it's very similar to the one that we got in the Kenobi series, so I'll take a good start with that cape itself. And then we get a lot of hand pieces, and the hand pieces look great, man. These things are made out of plastic and with so many different poses. So the ones on the left, it's pretty much just him using the Force in different ways. I love the fact that we have those stretch marks to show motion with the character, and the fact that we get these gloves, it makes the character completely seamless when it comes to the shoulder and hand area. The ones on the right pretty much are going to be another way of him using the Force. Again, so we get 3 options for him using the Force. It's just a matter of preference. All of the 3 look great. I really don't have any issues with them. But then we also get this piece, which is with when he gets his arm broken or pretty much torn apart by Luke whenever he hits him with his lightsaber on that final fight scene. I like how it looks. I like the fact that we get this option. It would match well with the Anakin head sculpt once we install it onto the figure. So these are 4 of the hands that we get. As I mentioned before, or the texture of the glove. Looks great, no issues with them whatsoever. We get 4 more hands right here, so the 2 on the left are going to be pretty much for him to hold on to his belt, so that classic pose that he uses. I love the fact that they did hands specifically for that pose. So as you guys can see, the wrist is kind of turned in a specific way to make the pose even more natural than what it already is. It looks great, and again, as I mentioned before, I like the fact that we got these hands specifically, just like the other ones. The motion of them, the motion lines are there on the hands to show movement. That's the 2 on the right are pretty much just a closed fist, and then also him pointing the finger, so just natural poses that we give with Vader. I like the fact that it comes with all these hands. Again, it just gives us options as collectors. And then the last 4 hands are going to be the 2 on the left. It's just going to be for him to hold on to his lightsaber, no issues with it whatsoever. And then the ones on the right are the ones that came with the figure, which is, I would just say, pretty much relaxed hands. Again, it's just, we get every single option possible with the figure to pose them. I can't think of any other hand that they could have used for the figure. I think all of them are fantastic, and they just look great on, they will look great on the figure for sure. Then we get 2 lightsabers, one to pretty much either connect it to his belt or also to have the figure pose without any cables being shown. And of course, the one on the right is going to include the cable, so that one is for us to be able to install the lightsaber and turn it on with that LED light. As always, I'm going to try it out to see how it looks. It comes with the 2 regular lightsaber pieces. Now these do look a little bit darker red than usual, so I've had other Sith characters collected, and they're a little bit lighter than usual, so these look darker, so hopefully they light up well. We're about to try that right now. I've always been disappointed with the Vader lightsabers. Unfortunately, they never do it. I'm sorry, not the Vader lightsabers, but just all the lightsabers period for Star Wars. They never do a great job with them, and they never turn out as good as we would want. So we'll see how it looks. So we do have the light up box as we got in for the previous Star Wars figures. We're about to go ahead and connect the cable just to see how it looks, and that way we can pretty much connect it. So now that we've connected it, again, I want to make it clear, my camera light isn't the greatest, so let me turn it off so that way you guys can see it. It lights up good, but as always, it's just not good enough. From a scale of 1 to 10, I'll probably say a 5 or a 6. It's better than your typical, lightsaber for other characters that I've gotten, but still in all, it could have been much better. Again, it just doesn't get there. It's like it lights up well at the very beginning of the lightsaber effect, but then once we get to the end, it's just not that great. So once again, the lightsaber comes up short. But this will probably be the only small complaint that I have about all of the accessories. Everything else looks great, from all the 3 head sculpts, the hand pieces, the cape. We're off to a great start. I love everything that comes included with the figure so far. And then now we have the display bases. So I have gone ahead and connected the display bases already. So first we get to this railing right here part. So this ladder piece is from the flooring from that final fight scene where we have Palpatine, Luke, and Vader himself. So the flooring is very recognizable. We've always gotten that with some Star Wars figures, but obviously the ladder piece and also the railing, not so much. Now this railing part on the left, you can either attach it on the right or left. I went ahead and did the left. All of these things came separate. You guys just pretty much have to connect it. Y'all can see the instructions on the pamphlet that Hot Toys includes. It's not really hard at all. It's a very easy process. The feel of it, it's just your typical plastic kind of display base. There's nothing too special to it, but I like the fact that it's really big and it's going to give me options to pose the figure itself. I have a lot of ideas that I can think of with this thing, so it looks great. I think it looks good. Nothing too special, but it'll do the work to go ahead and pose Vader on it. And then the other display base, so this would also be, if I'm not mistaken, the one on the left, the flooring is from the Death Star, if I'm not mistaken. It reminds me from that battle that he has with Luke in the Empire Strikes Back. So this one does have the nameplate for Darth Vader himself. And then these 2 railing pieces right here also have to be connected separately. They're not in the movie. These 2 pieces are just so that we can go ahead and install both of his helmets and to go ahead and put the figure on the actual display base. So what I would call this, guys, it will be your typical cabinet kind of display base. We can pretty much just pose the figure, have both of his helmets on the sides, and they would pretty much just look really good. It does also have its regular crotch grabber, which I don't think I'll need so much, and also it does turn off via USB cable. Now turning it on right now, this is so much better compared to the lightsaber. It turns out really good. Again, my lighting in the camera might not show the great, how great it looks, but just seeing this thing in person, it lights up very well. I love how it looks. This is a really good display base. Again, it reminds me a lot about that display base that we got for the Empire Strikes Back Luke Skywalker. It turns on very well, and I like the fact that it gives us that options right there to include both of his helmets. I think it's gonna look great. So I would say all of the accessories look fantastic. No complaints, only the lightsabers, but we're off to a good start. It comes with so many things, and I think everything looks really good so far. Okay guys, we get to Vader himself. So Vader, again, he's always going to look great. It's just a matter of finding details on him. Like, we can get picky and say that certain things are not as great as previous Vader. So we start off with the helmet. I mentioned before, the helmet, I like the helmet. Again, I know the look to it right now on camera isn't the greatest, but just know that it's my lighting. I promise you guys, in person it looks great. It's not necessarily the figure itself, but pretty much the one thing that I am noticing that I kind of don't like about the helmet, actually, yeah, it's the actual helmet. It's that line on top of his eyes. It's usually a little bit more curved, kind of showing like if he had this mean type of look to him, and it's kind of straight, and that kind of bothers me. It doesn't look as great as other Vader figures. Also, the fact that they made the helmet kind of split up from the actual face mask itself, it's really loose, so it comes off pretty easily whenever you're trying to pose the figure. So that's probably the only thing that I would have to say. Also, the helmet is a little too long for me, and I'll show you guys what I mean by that whenever I compare it to other helmets, as I am going to bring other helmets on here to this part of the video so we can see actual comparisons themselves. But again, it's just details itself. So here we have the Kenobi series helmet. So you guys can see that line looks a little bit more curvier with the Vader helmet. This, to me, up to date, is my favorite helmet that I've seen from a Vader figure. So without question, it's better, in my personal opinion, than the Return of the Jedi's new helmet. The line is just curvier, and again, it's not as long of a helmet and not as wide. To me, it is a perfect helmet, the one from the Kenobi series. This one from Return of the Jedi, it's a great helmet, but not perfect in my personal opinion. And then this one right here is from the Sideshow Collectibles Return of the Jedi Vader. So this one, actually, Sideshow went all out of its way to do a Anakin kind of neck and actual head sculpt underneath the helmet. I don't even know if you can actually remove the helmet. I've never tried to do it because it feels like it's about to break, and I don't want to do that. But it feels heavy, and I think the look to it is even better than the actual helmet for the Hot Toys helmet for Return of the Jedi. And again, the camera effect and lighting doesn't even have any type of effect on that Sideshow Collectibles Vader helmet. So just kind of wanted to compare all those three helmets together. As I mentioned before, it's still a good helmet, but it's not perfect. There's some details that could have made it better. As far as everything else with the suit, pretty much we just get the normal stuff. So we get his shoulder armor that looks great. It's made out of plastic, and it splits up from the shoulders, allowing us to articulate the figure more. But now let me get to the issues that I have with this figure, and it's the suit itself. It's the undersuit. Once again, we get pleather with this guy, and it is very unfortunate because the pleather, it looks good, but it doesn't feel great. And whenever it comes to moving the actual figure, it's just not good. The tunic and the belt, they're fine. I don't have any issues with it. Again, it's just the regular stuff. His belt, accessories, his chest box, everything is fine. I really don't have any issues with it. Right there, his groin piece that he has as far as the armor, it's good. But again, the suit itself being made out of pleather, it is very unfortunate. And I know what Hot Toys is doing. They know damn well they're going to release more Vader figures in the near future. So I think that they want to save perfection for a later time. I think right now they want to kind of, how can I say this? They want to take the pleather to its extremes until it no longer can be accepted by us. And then they'll get rid of it and use other materials. Same thing with the boots. They decided to go with pleather. Another unfortunate thing, as you guys can see right there, it looks good, as I mentioned before, but it looks like that material is going to tear off and wear apart in the near future. And then, who knows how long it's going to last us. The good thing is that it has that leg armor kind of strapped to his ankles, so it's not going to get damaged as much. But still in all, it doesn't look that great. And then in the back, so we get the tunic and we get all of these cables that are going to go connected to that light box. So this one right here is for his chest box, and then these two at the bottom are going to be for his belt accessories that he has. Pretty much, again, I like the fact that it's connected that way. I can tell that it's not gonna pretty much be in the way whenever we turn on the figure because of the cape itself. Right there, just checking the suit itself. As I mentioned before, just don't like the fact that it's pleather. So the figure itself looks good. Again, it has its good things, but it's not perfect. It has its flaws. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you guys agree with me or if there are other things that I'm missing that I should be more critical of. As I mentioned before, this is a really good figure, but it's not perfect. I still haven't made my decision whether this is the best Vader, but let me go ahead and get other accessories out here so you guys can check them out. Right, I do want to go ahead and install other things so that way you guys can see everything and how he looks with those other accessories. Okay, so we have the blue helmet itself. I will attach the line part accessory that goes on the helmet, but also I did go ahead and attach the cape itself, and then I also attached the light box with all of the cables. So we have the helmet, we have his chest box, we have the belt accessories, and also I have my USB cable connected so that we can turn everything on. The good thing is that my USB cable is really long, so it helps me. I'm able to work with this figure. So again, we have the the cape pretty much connected onto the figure and that mask. So let me go ahead and turn it on, and there it is. And I do want to go ahead and turn off my camera light so that you guys can see pretty much the whole mask in full detail. Man, this thing looks good, and as you guys can see, we can see the skull right there inside of it. The skull looks great. This thing is good, man. I think this is my favorite accessory of the whole figure, and I think whenever I did the figure preview, oh my goodness, now that there we go, now it's pretty much the light is going on and off, and it's supposed to showing him electrocuted. Man, this is a phenomenal accessory. It lights up very, very well. Hot Toys without question did a phenomenal job with this one. This has to be my favorite accessory, although I will bring the Anakin head sculpt a little bit later on in the video. So it looks absolutely amazing. Let me go ahead and attach the lighting piece as well, so that way you guys can check that out and how it looks on him. I think it's supposed to go this way if I'm not mistaken. Okay, let me see. There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I did not know how that go. Okay, so now we have pretty much the whole piece itself. This is amazing. This is kind of once in a lifetime type of accessory that we're gonna get from Hot Toys. It looks great. I have no complaints about it. It looks absolutely phenomenal, and again, it's just a very nice thing to add on to the figure. It looks absolutely amazing, so no complaints about that piece at all. The bad thing is that, again, it requires me to have a USB cable connected, so I'm not sure if I can have it that way on my display case because I have nowhere to install that USB cable. I have so many cables installed onto the wall for my display cases, so it's gonna be very tough to have that accessory, but it looks absolutely amazing. Okay, so now we bring Anakin's head sculpt onto the scene. I want to apologize, guys. I cannot remember the name of the actor who played Anakin for this specific movie. Obviously, it's not Hayden, right? So it's somebody else, and I really apologize. I forget the name of the actor. I think he just recently passed away. But we have his head sculpt along with his broken arm that shows his robotic limbs. I did want to go ahead and add this to give the other look to the guy itself. Let me be clear about this head sculpt. This head sculpt, it's perfect. It's perfect from every single angle. It is a perfect head sculpt. The skin texture, the feel to his scars and his burn marks, the makeup that they and the paint applications that they've decided to use under his eyes. There's this kind of red type of worn out look to it that makes it seem like he's had a mask for a long time, which obviously he has had. Right here, his cuts and burn marks, they look so nicely made. everything is perfect about this head sculpt. And then obviously this part of the helmet, they've also gone in detail and made the same kind of mechanical buttons just like they did with the regular helmet. This thing is absolutely perfect. I have nothing bad to say about this head sculpt. It looks that great. It is a toss-up to me between which accessory is better, which is either this one or the electrocuted helmet. Also, you guys can remove the mask, the head sculpt, so that you guys can rotate the eyes. So it does come with rotate eyes, which makes it even more perfect than what it already is, as you guys can see there at the bottom. I won't snap my fingers to switch out the to rotate the eyes. Let me go ahead and do it right now. So it's a pretty easy process. Usually it comes with a little stick to kind of install, but I just do it with my fingers. I think it's easier that way, and I'm able to move the eyes in whichever position I want to go ahead and do it. See, as you guys can see right there, that's just a random position. I don't think it's the go-to position. It is completely up to you guys, but yeah, to me this is a perfect head sculpt. I love the expression. It's this serious look to him, and again, the skin texture, the paint applications, everything about him, the cuts, the burn marks, it looks exactly as the actor who played Anakin in that movie. Please let me know in the comments, guys, who it is. I completely forgot his name, and I apologize about that. Very inappropriate on my part to forget his name, but yeah, it's a perfect head sculpt. I have nothing wrong to say about it, and I think I'm gonna pose him this way whenever I put him in the display case, because Anakin himself, my Sideshow Collectibles Vader will have the regular helmet, and this one will have the face sculpt. Okay, so now back to how we started. So we have Vader without the cape, and the reason I have him this way is because it's time to look at the articulations for the guy. I did go ahead and leave his light up box connected. I really don't think it comes in the way, so I think we should be fine. So let's go ahead and take a look at articulations for the figure itself. So first, start off with the ankles, because this figure is made out of pleather. The ankles should be very flexible, and as you guys can see, they are. So the foot does go to the bottom and to the top very well. I don't think there's any issues with that. To the sides, it really doesn't move the ankles itself. The knee does bend all the way to the back, I would say till there. Just watch out with that pleather, because it is going to get damaged. Again, I don't think we're going to have to pose the figure that way at any point, but just kind of an FYI. And then the knee does go all the way to the top till there, pretty much. Not a lot. I think I could probably stretch it more, but I really don't want to. I don't want to damage the material in any way. And then the leg does go to the sides a little bit till there. That strap that he has in the middle in his groin area does get in the way a little bit, so I'm not able to really stretch out the leg as much as I would want to. So that would pretty much be it for the lower part. And then in his mid part area, it does go to the sides just a little bit, not too much. It goes to the front all the way till there, and then to the back till there. So not bad, I would say. I think it's good enough. And then now to his arms area. So that the good thing about that shoulder armor being a little bit separate is that it does give me the option of flexing the arms a little bit more. So it does go all the way to the side till there. I would say it pretty much goes, if you guys bend the elbows, they do bend pretty nicely. I think that's pretty much good enough right there. I think I can work with that. It goes all the way to the back till there. And then let me see, and then also the whole arm on itself does go all the way to the front till there. So I do want it to flex a little bit more. There's certain poses that I want to use with him using the force, and hopefully I'm able to flex it a little bit more, but that would pretty much be it for now. The good thing about the helmet is that it is pretty flexible, so you guys can move it all the way to the bottom till there and to the top till there. It goes sideways a lot. I think that's a good thing. And then because it is connected via ball joint on the neck area, it does pretty much turn around completely, but I don't want it to come off in any way, so I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it like that. So I say articulations are pretty good, not great, but good enough for the figure itself. The whole figure itself, it's good, but it's not perfect. Time to do some side-by-side comparisons, because I really want to make that decision on who's the better Vader of all three of the ones that I have. Okay, so now for a quick side-by-side comparison. So on the left side, we have my Vader from Sideshow Collectibles, and on the right, it's the Hot Toys Vader, and both of them are from Return of the Jedi. So the Vader on the left is my first ever Vader. I think he was my second or third 1/6 scale figure that I ever collected. And he still stands up nicely. He's still a very good figure itself, and in all honesty, guys, I don't think it's a very clear choice which is the better Vader, even though the Hot Toys one has more accessories and it's the newer figure. I'm just talking about the figure itself, the suit, the helmet, and everything. See, to me, I think the helmet is better on the Sideshow Collectibles one. I think the material of the suit is better also with the Sideshow Collectibles one. We get no pleather whatsoever. The boots are made out of plastic, and I'll be honest, I really don't know what the material is with the Sideshow Collectibles Vader, but I do know for a fact it's not pleather and it's very durable. So that is something that I really love about that Sideshow Collectibles Vader. And again, the pricing was very cheap at all. So those are positives that I would say about that Vader specifically. Now, the Hot Toys Vader that we just got right now for Return of the Jedi, so the cape is better. I think that the accessories are better. Obviously, as I mentioned before, all of the options that we get with the Anakin head sculpt, the electrocuted helmet, everything that he comes with is phenomenal, and also the body proportions are better. One thing that I really dislike about the Sideshow Collectibles Vader is that he's very loose. The figure almost falls apart on its own, and it's very hard to pose him. I didn't feel that issue with this Hot Toys Vader, so it is a very hard decision in all honesty. By a slight edge, I'm gonna go with the Hot Toys Vader just because of all of the accessories, and at the end of the day, the look to it from far away, it's just better. As you guys can see, also the coloring, there's just a darker black to the Hot Toys Vader. So in my personal opinion, this is the better Vader, but let me know in the comments if you guys disagree with me or not. Okay, second side-by-side comparison, we have now on the right, we have my Kenobi series Vader with the broken Anakin helmet. The broken Vader helmet showing half of Anakin's face, and then on the left we have, of course, again, the Hot Toys Return of the Jedi Vader. So both of these figures, I've gotten them this year. They are the newest Vader figures, although there's one coming up next year with the Force Awakens inspiration with the full Anakin head sculpt being portrayed by Hayden Christensen. But again, these are the two newest figures that we've gotten up to date. They are my two favorite Vader figures, and I do believe these are the best ones that we've received up to date. I've heard a lot of people being big fans of the Rogue One Vader, although I unfortunately don't have him, so maybe I'm not qualified enough to speak on this, but time to make a decision. To me, I don't think the Return of the Jedi Vader is the best Vader we've ever gotten. I'm still going to go with the Kenobi series Vader. I think he stands up better. I think the cape is a little better. All of the accessories. And I just think that Anakin helmet, the half Anakin, half Vader helmet just gets to me. I think by the smallest of edges, it's the better Vader. Again, feel free to disagree with me on that. I know that this opinion might not be shared by everyone, but that's just how I feel right now. And then last but not least, we have him paired up with Luke. So obviously Luke would be on my other figure from this specific movie, Return of the Jedi. Another figure that stands up very well until this day with a fantastic head sculpt for Mark Hamill. Sadly, the boots are also made out of pleather and they're almost coming apart, but this figure has lasted me a while and I do like him a lot and he looks great. So looking at these two guys together, obviously the chemistry that they had throughout the movie, it was fantastic, and those battle scenes were obviously nice to see, and me as a kid watching them for the first time, and it was just phenomenal. So obviously, without question, I'll have these two guys posed together next to my Sideshow Collectibles Vader that I will keep, and I'll let you guys know a little bit later on as to why. But this would pretty much be it for all of my side-by-side comparisons. Just happy to have all of them on my collection. Okay guys, we have reached the end of the video. As always, I like to pose the figure in different ways just to pretty much show the whole figure and its accessories in its totality. I wish I could pose the figure in more ways, but at the same time I don't want to extend the video too long. But pretty much just overall thoughts. I like the figure a lot. He's not perfect, but I do like him. I can't go as far as to say that the figure is ruined because of the pleather and things like that. I just don't think that it would make sense. I think the figure looks great at all. Also, I have made the decision to keep my my Sideshow Collectibles Vader. I was thinking about selling him because, again, both figures are from the same movie, but my thinking is that why not just post the Sideshow Collectibles Vader with his regular helmet, and then I'll just have the Hot Toys Vader with the Anakin head sculpt. Just gives me different views and different ways, and just again adds on to the collection, and I can just pose Vader in different ways because, again, the Kenobi series already has the half mask, half helmet. The Sideshow Collectibles will have the full helmet, and then the Vader from Hot Toys, but from the Return of the Jedi, would have the full Anakin head sculpt. So just a way of kind of added on to the collection, so I will go ahead and keep that Vader. So before I end the video, guys, as always, want to thank you for supporting the channel. It means the world to me every time that you guys watch a video of mine. As I always like to say, if it is the first time that you're watching me, feel free to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and also hit the notifications bell so that we are always updated anytime that I do drop an unboxing video here on the channel. Also, a reminder that I am on TikTok and Instagram, where I post daily images as well as updates to my channel. Make sure to follow me on both of those websites to stay tuned for anything that I do have coming up in the near future. And then also, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I will include the link to Sideshow Collectibles if you guys want to go ahead and purchase this Vader. Let me know, please, in the comments, guys, what do you guys think about this specific figure? As I mentioned before, I don't think he's the best Vader that we've ever gotten. I think I'm still going with the Kenobi series Vader. To me, there's just something about him that makes me say he's the best Vader up to date. But please feel free to disagree with me on that on the comments. Also, we covered a lot of things throughout this video, so I'm sure I missed something. Please let me know if I did, as well as just feel free to express your opinion on the figure itself. So for now, again, this is it for this Darth Vader unboxing and review from Return of the Jedi. Thank you again for tuning in, and I will see you next time.